Hey! Welcome in. It's the Community Rip Live with your boys. Hey, it's been Bags, Nick, just fucking do it, JFDI, GPAISA, Gautam, and it's the Thanksgiving special. We couldn't wait. We got off started like your drunk uncles arguing over Thanksgiving dinner. So we've got everything on board today. Guys, say hi to everybody.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. The talk of tomorrow shall be short the market. It's a bubble. And
yeah,
it will
Wow, that's
be
a hot
so
take.
much joy arguing every single one of those points.
Wow, that was really insightful. I mean, nobody's heard about bubble talk for I don't know months. GP, that's a solid take. That'll be 1 point for GP on my little ledger here. There you go. But it's 2:00. It's the Community Rip Live. We're so happy to be here with you. And hey, Ryan, I gotta bring you in since it's the Thanksgiving special. We don't need you at the kids' table today, or at least right now.
Thank you so much.
But hey, I want to give everybody an opportunity to just say what we're thankful for. And first, I'm going to just kick it off. I'm thankful for the three of you, and I'm thankful for getting to hang out every week with you guys. And I'm thankful for my family and my health. Elbow's doing great. Thanks everybody for asking. But it's just that time of year that we all need to just take a step back. And then once we get some turkey in us, then we can just go full bore on the things that we don't like about the people we love. So that's where I'm at right now. I love you guys.
Ryan, go for it.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for Stocktwits.
Absolutely.
Thankful for family, obviously, just thankful for a lot of things. And love my kids. My kids are my life. My wife is my life. So, also working is my life kind of too. That's not really a good thing, but yeah, thankful for all that. Glad to be here. Thankful for
Thanks, Ryan.
We appreciate you
Thanks, guys.
and everything you do.
Go ahead, Nick. Your turn.
Yeah, similar. My wife, my kids, my family. Love the community here. Obviously, I wouldn't be on Stocktwits for the last 20 years if I didn't love it here. And I was really appreciative of the time we got to share at Stocktoberfest.
100%.
It was definitely overwhelming, a lot of socializing. Definitely not used to that, but it was a fantastic experience that I'm incredibly grateful for. So, yeah, GP.
I am thankful my dad woke up 56 years ago and had more courage than I can ever imagine to take a trip to the States to study engineering and give us all the opportunities that life has to offer, and then the family that surrounds that, right? It's a community, it's a network, which is why this is called the Community Rip. We come here because we want to be a part of your family. We want to be a part of your world. And thankful for the audience that joins us every week. We are here. We are here because we love you guys. And this show wouldn't be anything without you. And keep coming in every week. And also thankful for my brand new niece.
Yeah.
Mira. She's 2 weeks old today. And she's a pooping, spitting, and eating monster, which is exactly what she should be.
That's basically Ben too, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting ready to shit all over this Thanksgiving thanks parade here.
I'm going back into hiding before that.
Love you, Ryan. No, let's jump right into the markets. Pulling up the cues as we always start off our day, not just Thanksgiving Day, but all of our screen time here. Oh my goodness, what is going on?
You want me to share the charts, or
I'm gonna try, Nick. How about that?
Okay.
I'm gonna try. No, I can't. You're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do it. I can't. Sorry, my arm. Pull up the cues. It
See, share
wiggling the mouse is getting to be too much already, and we're only 5 minutes in.
window.
I'll tell you what I'm seeing on the cues. All of a sudden, we've had 4 straight green days, and we took out our big death bar from last Thursday that everybody thought was the end of the world.
Yeah, I don't think you. I mean, there's probably we're pushing into week 11, or we are. I'm sorry, we're into week 11 of this consolidation correction period, whatever you want to call it. You'll probably hear a lot of people talk about the volume, and I think on a light volume week, it'd be pretty tough to kind of expect that volume is going to exceed last week's, especially considering the kind of that nasty bar we got. Going to the daily, yeah, I'm with you. We reclaimed the neckline, which from a bullish standpoint, that's obviously the first step, I think, that a lot of us wanted to see. And then ultimately taken out, using the high of this candle, obviously another kind of cheater entry. But I think, just looking at the weekly looks a lot prettier than the daily. I think just in terms of, like, this is kind of the pivot that you're going to want to trade against, or maybe using these short-term moving averages. But looking at the weekly, like, I don't remember if it was O'Neill or some other book I read, but, a lot of these kind of corrective periods typically kind of in a uptrend typically range in that 8 to 12 week kind of time period. Sure, they can go longer or shorter, whatever, but we're kind of pushing into that week 11 and then, week 12 next week. So it'd be nice to see some definitive resolution and us kind of push higher out. If you like, considering how long we've kind of spent in this range, I love the fact that it's allowed the 30 and the 40 week moving average to kind of curl and catch up to price. Both of them are now surpassing the early year high. And I think if we did kind of rip up, pause, or however it looks, it's going to end up looking as almost as if this was kind of a tap and go off the 30 week. If we do rip out of here, in hindsight, this is going to exude a lot of strength coming into this zone and pushing out of it, considering we barely tweaked into this. Where I was looking at here is kind of this, like, where all these tight closes were. I don't use the volume shelf thing, but perhaps if you did, I would imagine there's kind of a volume shelf in this range. But I think
you kind of are, even though you're not, right? Like, I mean, that jumbled mess of candles sort of signifies volume in that range, right?
Yeah, and I think if you looked, so if you're looking at the weekly, I wouldn't really be arguing distribution in here. But if you narrow down to the daily and you kind of look at it, you'd be like, yeah, this is distribution. Like, you're seeing all these kind of above average volume sell bars. But if you're zooming out and you don't really see that as much, I would probably argue accumulation versus distribution. But maybe GP has a better take on that. I try not to read too much in that because I'm not the best, I think, at discerning between the two. It's more of a hindsight indicator, I think, for me. Or
I think you're the best, Nick.
Hey, I appreciate you too.
Now let's kick it off to this scrub Gautam here.
Man, this guy and his drugs, just talking all nonsense. Ultimately, happy drugs, though. Happy drugs. I think we talked about this, right? You don't see distribution on a Head and Shoulders on the right side. Last couple of weeks we've been talking about it. It's reaccumulation, right? It's a move of, it looks like distribution, right? Because it's high volume, but it's reaccumulation. And you're seeing rotation as well. The most important thing about today, this week, is we just took out the 10-10 candle. The candle that has trapped us for the last month and a half, we just took out. After rejecting it so hard on Thursday, volume is going to be low, not because it's a holiday week and your gurus tell you ignore all price action during holiday week. Um, it it is volume is low by design. No one, I can tell you, 95 out of 100 people do not believe that this thing is real, right? That this thing can go higher.
Including
And
Panic Buyer in our comments just now, who said 630 and run away. But I digress. Please continue, GP.
yes. And so like you just spent months consolidating a 40% rip higher, and you have insane panic volume on Thursday. You also have crypto in the crapper, and I don't think anyone believes any of these moves can stick. What do we talk about? There's two things we talk about: the wall of worry. I can tell you that wall is higher than the tallest mountain in the on the world right now, right?
That
There
would
isn't
be
a
Mount
person who
Everest.
isn't trying to lock in gains, worried about the market taking a 30% dump on their accounts and all this other stuff right now. Which leads us to the second point, which is pain trade is.
Higher.
Definitely.
And so I love what's going on here. I love that I got stopped out and raised a bunch of cash on Thursday. I was able to put it to work into names that are like, people are like, oh, what about RGTI or Oklo? And I was like, you just had Microsoft and Meta, two of the proponents of AI leaders until like a few months ago, right? Until like June or July, both take haircuts all the way to the 200 and below. And that also includes Oracle, Spotify, Netflix. Am I going to spend time on RGTI? Probably not, because there's zero revenue companies. If it goes up 3, 4, 500%, greater to you, but I'll trade those when the time is right. But for an investment, no, I'm investing in things that are going to be around for a long time, and zero revenue companies aren't in my list of things. So I like what's going on here. The responses that you've seen from, like, if you, Nick, do me a favor, bring up ARC. We talked about this yesterday on our own podcast,
on our
as
YouTube
well,
show.
right? On our YouTube show, please,
like and subscribe.
yes, and come join us. Right? We love talking, so the more you come join us, the more fun it is. But yeah, so ARC just back tested a 3-year base. And what's the one thing that we saw on all these back tests? So far, buyers have shown up, right? The response to these levels have been finding support, not becoming resistance, right? So what was once resistance is now become support. And until that support breaks, your risk to reward right now is probably the best it's been since April. And so if you're not putting the money work because you're scared of stuff, that's fine. People are. You shouldn't. You got to do what's comfortable for you. But to me, you have, on most stocks in over the last couple of days, you have 1 to 3% risk down and potentially 20, 30, 40, 50% up, right? So it makes sense to put money to work, make it a probability game. Don't get emotional about this stuff, and let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that looks good, I think. So, I mean, I kind of, when it comes to like the momentum and growth, if you're trading momentum, it's going to be a next set of shitcodes that run on Momo. You know, like I'd agree. Like I think IonQ looks kind of good, but I don't know if they would be of my focus, like kind of coming out of this. I think if you're really trying to nail it, stick to RS. And I agree with you. Stick to RS and stick to quality. And if you stick to those two things, you're essentially going to be following the money. You know, if you have your curated watch list and you're just kind of perpetually watching the names that are, you know, continually hitting the percent gainers, dollar gainers kind of day in, day out. They're remaining up near 52-week highs or all-time highs. Like, that's kind of where you want to set your focus. I guess I don't want to tell people how to trade or how to invest, but bottom fishing is not
Bottom
usually
fishing is what?
the
It's an art.
easiest way
Yeah, it
to.
is.
Yeah, it's hard money.
I went bottom fishing this morning. I went bottom fishing on some FRSH Fresh Works. This is a name that I had once picked in one of our quarterly stock picks not too long ago, and I think it's a low risk, high reward. Mipa in the chat wants to know what's a 20 or 30% gainer. Well, the way I'm looking at this one, you risk 3% to gain around 26, 28% on this name, in my opinion. Just draw a downtrending line there, Nick. And what does that give you? Up to that line roughly, like 25%.
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue if it can kind of hold here and bust out of here, I mean, you're looking at back at the high end of the range. I think so you could be looking at a double.
Let's not put our cart before the horse here. I'm just saying this is a bottom fishing name that if I were to get 20% gain, I would take some off and I would let some ride. Right. So this is a name that I think in the bottom fishing camp, while they may not have earnings, they are being Google's putting money into them. And we know Google's, the hottie on the block right now. Everybody loves Google and everything they're doing. Another name. Yeah, I know GP's got a short on Google. He can tell you all about that and all the other mega cap names that he hates minus Tesla. But we can get into that later. But I think Freshworks got some play here, and if it goes down 3%, it's not a bad loss to take on that one. Nick,
No, it's a great start on Fresh. Like it's a great.
Oh, thank you, GP.
Risk reward. That's all we got, right? In this market is risk reward.
Yeah.
And so,
but another name, I mean, yeah. Nick, you were talking about leaders, Broadcom, as we see Broadcom, AVGO, the two things that I went heaviest in off the April lows was Soxel and Broadcom. And Broadcom, I mean, look at that breakout. It's just going. I have a channel on Broadcom that basically we're busting through that channel up there. You don't have to draw it, Nick. You can if you like, but anyway, I think Broadcom is a no-brainer, and they are going to win regardless who wins AI race, whether it's OpenAI or Google or Anthropic. It doesn't matter. Broadcom is supplying all of the stuff for them, not just NVIDIA. So that's why you're seeing this reaction from Broadcom. So I think Broadcom, in my opinion, it's my largest position on my book. I think Broadcom still got a lot more to go. I wouldn't even cap it at 20 or 30% higher. Obviously, all this is with the market participating, of course. We know how the last 3 weeks have gone. So we can see ebbs and flows in this, but as long as we're staying neutral to bullish to the upside, I see no reason why Broadcom can't continue to lead in the semiconductor space.
I was going to say, ASML is looking fantastic too.
Yeah, I talked shit about ASML yesterday because I like something else, and what does it do today? It gaps up and makes me look like a fool, so that's what I get.
I mean, we haven't gotten the breakout yet. Definitely still got time.
Does that look like accumulation or distribution to you, Nick? Up there?
Neither.
Okay.
Just
curious.
It definitely looks good. I'm looking at it more as a cup and handle now. The inverse head and shoulder is obviously played out in hindsight, looking at it. I think, and if weakness does hit the market, I think ASML would be a good look at a pull in to kind of in this 800-900 range. it would have to be kind of a gnarly pull in, right? Like if it pulled down here and these moving averages had already kind of like caught up into here, obviously all bets are off. But yeah, I mean they all still look good. Like Clack looks good. MU, they're all like, I guess you could probably argue, like we're getting an inside week in some of these names. And you get an inside week, typically the expectation is that trend is going to resume in the direction of the initial bar. I'm not in that camp, obviously, but just trying to play devil's advocate, I suppose.
It's a theory.
Yeah. AMD, AMD, it honestly fucks me every time. I hate to say like this is on my do not trade list because I try not to really have those, but I should have been getting back involved right in here versus the low of this high volume candle. I even got the freaking arrows like pointed on it, like, hey, this is your freaking buy zone. Woo-hoo. And you got kind of like a short-term double bottom here. You're going to want to see price AMD? Pop above there, but
what was the question?
Did you add any more AMD?
I actually got stopped out of my recent. I have the ones from before, but when it broke the 203 pivot, AMD had
you let them go.
To go. I still think it's reacting pretty well here. I still think it fills this gap, so I'm comfortable. I'm talking about the recent longs I added in the 160s or 165 right before it broke out. Those are the ones I trimmed out. I'm all out of, but like the long-term ones I bought in the 70 under 120 level, still holding that. So like one of the questions was Meepo was asking where 20-30% movers, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Like you don't have to look too far. Like look at Meta. Meta is already 10% off the bottom. 581, 582, tag 640-ish today. That right there is 10%, and you can trim into it and hold for a little bit longer if it goes higher. Microsoft is a similar boat. Oracle's are a similar boat. Netflix I'm not touching because of the split, but Spot is in a similar boat. I'm not saying Netflix can't go, but
yeah, I feel
like in 2015 when it split, it pretty much went sideways for a year and then took it out. So
sure.
There's so many better names than Netflix for me. As long as it behaves well, that's all that matters. Than to have a position on. Then another new position I took today, which barely got dented during the sell-off, which was XPO. Nick, you talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Looking great.
Look at that. Shit. I don't know. That barely got touched. So when you see relative strength and it's taking out a pivot, that was I know it's a little late, but I want to buy strength here, not weakness necessarily. And this showed relative strength, and I'm breaking. I know nothing about the company. It's just a chart-based conversation. So there are going to be plenty of 20-30% movers. I don't know if it's NVIDIA or AMD at the moment, but I think Google has a potential to move down 20-30% if that's your cup of tea. It's all a rotation name, right? Google just got this week has been insane panic buying. If you've seen it in Google, right? Every night you come in, it's up 7, 8, 9, 10 points, and then down during real-time hours or sideways during real-time hours. It is to that level where I took on a short via defined risk for January puts. If it works, great. If not, it's not a conversation about Google. It's a conversation about rotation. So Google's gone up 200 points essentially since that 150 level, and money's got to spread around. So that's my conversation. So I'd be looking at names that are in the other spaces. Ben, you talked about this yesterday. Apple, right? This is more of the retail kind of space. So Apple, Amazon, Tesla, these are where I can see things flowing. Obviously, if the AI gets a bid, I think the money rotates back into Microsoft, Meta, Oracle. So like you got to see the themes that are playing out. But I don't know about you guys. I'm starting to think about 2026.
Yeah,
and
same.
and how to position for 2026. I've got some thoughts on what 2026 looks like, but I'm curious what you guys think.
I think that let's see, how do I say this? I think if we get the December to remember, Santa Claus rally, it might behoove you to trim and trail into kind of the January effect and see how January shakes out. I think January is going to provide a massive tell on where money's moving and because I think for those that aren't totally familiar with the January effect, it's kind of this idea that into the end of the year, portfolio managers are rotating their money into like the overall leaders of either the quarter or the year. They're selling out of like a lot of the weak shit that just or speculative stuff that just either wasn't performing or they need to get off their books. And then they'll start to kind of reposition themselves in January. Whether it, kind of plays out that way, it's just kind of something to keep in the back of your mind. But I think it's going to be Tesla's year. I think it's going to be a monster year. So if you're already positioned well, especially coming for the longer term investors, traders, especially the O'Neill growth style traders, they should be, unless they have legged into positions and kind of ruined their cost, they should be sitting extremely well long from the follow through day. So it may be a kind of a push, a wait time, or this is kind of how I'm kind of looking at it. What about you, Ben?
Surprise, surprise. I think we're going to continue this march upward with the semiconductor trade. I don't think that there's anything that's telling me that this cycle is over with the amount of investment that's already being committed. Sure, we've had panicky selling over the last 3 weeks over all this bubble talk that we've all had to just take in for the last 4 or 5 months. But that leads us to this wall of worry and the pain trade higher. So I don't think that anything right now is indicating to me that the game plan for me is changing at all. If anything, I'm more consolidating my position in those names. So anything that I'm trading is going to my core conviction trades, which is basically a basket of every step of the AI infrastructure trade, which is largely semiconductors.
Yeah,
makes sense.
The SMH looks fantastic.
I'll give you my thoughts on 2026. Quickly, it's themes, and themes can have twist and turn, but overall, where does it start? Where does it end? The year it's a year of economic prosperity in our small businesses. They are led. This is my narrative. They are led by companies that have figured out topsy-turvy, politically driven monetary policy through the Fed. It is the year of regional banks. It's a 17-year base breakout. IWM is a 4-year potential base breakout. This is, I'm going to be doing work and I'll post stuff over the next month or so, but my focus is going to be on regional banks. They are the lifeblood of our small business economy. Then on top of that, I also think it's the return of EVs, and I don't think it's Tesla's year. I think it's Rivian's year.
Rivian?
Oh my Lord.
I think Tesla will have its moves up, but I think it's Rivian's year.
Yeah, look at that.
look at the quarterly on Rivian. Can you get to the quarterly on that?
Oh yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah. So that quarterly is very, very similar to the Wayfair quarterly, which is having a phenomenal year. These bases, these levels, lots of wicks, lots of stuff. So like I said, I'm going to do a lot of work. I'm going to be looking at mostly regional bank. I'm going to be looking through everything. But right now, where my gut stands is regional banks, heavy outperformance in the small cap space, led by regional banks, led by home builders, led by all of the people who've been calling for the economies in the crapper and we're in an economic recession are all going to be proven wrong in 2026.
Yeah, man.
Which ultimately
I didn't even have toll.
Yeah.
Probably should have had some alerts set on Toll Brothers. Say that again?
Dude, Lennar, LEN,
yeah.
Toll Brothers.
Lennar, yeah. Lennar,
yeah. KBH.
50-year mortgages. Why wouldn't you want to build a house?
Home Depot. You just had a nasty back test on heavy volume into the bottom of the base. I like this. Lowe's, very similar. I think I think 2026 is the year of Rivian, to be honest. Yeah. And it's also going to be the year of crypto.
Listen to this guy.
Dude,
yeah, speaking of crypto,
he's going to rug pull. He's going to physically rug pull me on this conversation at some point.
I don't want to hurt your elbow, Ben.
Thank
you. But yeah, dude, look at what crypto's done to sentiment and perspective over the last 3 months. Absolutely obliterated.
What do you think? Like ETH and Solana kind of lead crypto out of this, or what do you?
I think ETH is held up better than
most.
Bitcoin, and Solana actually does not look great. It made a lower low on Solana on decent amount of volume. So I think if it bounces, I think my cost entry is like 160 or something like that. So if it bounces, it might be one that I take off and redistribute somewhere else.
Sure.
I want to see better action on it, but I like it.
I was kind of looking at this. I like the descending wedge look on it. So I was kind of thinking price could pop back up, retest the 200. But
you just see that heavy volume selling, right, and making lower lows, and so Ethereum did not do that, and Bitcoin didn't do that either.
So Nick, Solana's going to be your real altcoin catalyst, right? Because there's so many shit coins on the Solana network. So you'll see Solana pumping when the meme coins and all the shit coins are pumping. And that's why it gets hit the hardest, right? Because it's got it by nature has more speculative money inside of it. So the beta on it's going to be much higher than Ethereum or Bitcoin.
The miners they're kind of popping. Maros. Oof. Oops.
I also love metals, dude. Metals. You gotta look at silver.
Yeah.
More than gold. And go to the quarterly. Go to the quarterly on silver.
Let's see.
Right, you already got it. You got to point it out. But if you can bring up silver futures, I think it's a better indication of what it's quite overbought. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is SI. So now go back to 1980 if you can on the quarterly.
It's been 84 years.
I cannot. I can only go to
Okay. So
Yeah.
there's like the highs that silver hit in 1980 and also 2011. It is now curling up and through. This is exactly what gold did this year, right? At that 2000 level that we talked about a bunch of times. Once it clearly breaks that through, it starts an uptrend like no other, and it went from 2000 to what 4500 in less than a year. So I really like silver here too because it's got the similar kind of massive consolidation base breakout.
Yeah.
I was looking at drugs today, Nick, and not just the drugs I'm on for my elbow injury here. But I was looking at Viking Therapeutic and actually reached out to our homie Lex Trading because he does a little bit about the GLP ones. I don't know anything about VKTX.
That's right.
I think the chart looks good, but I have no position. I know drugs are something that have been hot, and you guys like to, or especially you, Nick, like to dabble in and out of trading them. But I have no drug exposure, and I thought about putting something on here, but I just don't have the conviction because it's just not my area of interest and or expertise.
I mean, it's a sector where you could get obliterated, if you're overweight in one of them things and they just like, shit the bed.
It would be a speculative position, so I wouldn't size it too crazy or anything. But
yeah, Eli Lilly, I think, has been the clear leader in the group, but a lot of the more expensive names are starting to kind of pick up and
Novo Nordisk,
perk up again. I haven't really paid attention to.
It's in the sewer.
Yeah.
Pfizer finally bounced after they acquired whoever they did. Nothing
funny
huge, but
Hims and Novo are in the sewer and they were fighting each other. Side note.
I would rather on Amazon than Hims, but that's me.
I think if you're gonna, Hims, I'm looking at this range here, $40 to $70. So if price can kind of pop up through here and kind of hold, what I would kind of like to see is price pop up, kind of fail the 200-day, and kind of tighten up here before ripping higher. I think that would be the way to play it and way to watch it.
It's a full year consolidation. Retag the 2024 highs. Yeah. This I like it overall. I think long term they're winners. So this year has not been great price action for sure. But as you said, as long as you don't screw up your cost basis, you're in a better position.
Yeah. John was asking about Frog. Frog looks fantastic.
Yeah, he said my take. I mean, I just said, are we really talking about Frog? That was my only take on Frog. I mean, I don't know. I have no take on Frog. Like, it's in an up channel. It looks all right. Like,
did you have beef with it prior?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No, I had no position. Like, I've charted it maybe 5 times in my entire life.
Yeah, I think I like the flag here. Nice high and tight. Year of the Frog. Buy stocks.
The year of the
animal
horse.
Names.
Right? The year of the horse.
Yeah.
In February. Is it the year it leapfrogs?
Dad joke.
All right, guys.
I think drones. I like the drone story, but I also like it kind of in alignment with EVs. You were talking about Rivian. I still feel like we're gonna see some weird ass like, I don't know, auto manufacturer drone airline merger of some sort, buyout. I don't know what it's gonna be or what it's gonna look like, but I just kind of have a feeling we're gonna see some wild stuff happen.
Hey,
ONDS looks pretty good too.
TK Stock Picker wants FCNCA. I have no idea what that is.
FC.
This is not age appropriate now.
No, I've never claimed to be.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
We card you at the door. If you bring your kids in, that's your own problem, I guess.
It's kind of how I would be looking at the range. But
What is that company?
isn't it yeah, it's a bank, isn't it?
Regional bank.
Yeah.
This thing has been a monster. I think TK nailed this during the
First
S-
Citizens. All right.
the SVB crisis. I think he nailed it for hundreds and hundreds of points. He crushed this trade, if I remember correctly. The SIVB, right? The Silicon Valley National Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That crisis in 2023, he was buying, I think, what, like the 400s or something like that, and he was selling in the
It
four
bottomed
digits.
out like at was that 505 was the low during that. That's nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it when that happens. It's my favorite thing ever.
FITB.
Nice 200% gainer.
Yes. So this FITB looks great too. If you look at it versus the 2008 highs, Nick, I think you got it up.
Fifth third.
oh, let's pull FITB. Oof, yeah.
Like,
I mean, holy shit! We go to the 50-year mortgage, like, I don't know.
no, but
Return to
like
the banks.
it's we could go to a 5-year mortgage, and the result of these regional banks is going to be the same thing. They're gonna break out after 17 years of doing nothing. This for me, TK, I'm already in this from 2008, 2009, sub $2, but I want to add in a different account to this. I haven't yet. I probably will build a position over the next month in FITB on any down days and stuff like that. But regional banks in general.
Dude, you snagged this thing sub $2?
Yeah, dude, it's 2000.
Dude.
My cost basis is 180.
That is killer.
And the dividend on this pays the dividend pays 34% of the cost every year, the original cost. It's ridiculous.
Sure.
It's so stupid. There's never a reason I'm ever going to sell it, but I do want to add to it.
Yeah.
Because the regional banks in general. Hey, look up HBAN as well.
H what?
HBAN.
Yeah.
These are
this
all
reminds me of like kind of the energy trade coming out of 2022 also. You know, just
or look at XLF, right? XLF was a similar. What XLF did during the SIVB crisis was consolidate. How many times did it consolidate at that 2008 highs? Right? Broke out, came back to test, and then failed again, came back to test, failed again. This you're looking at 3 months, so you don't see it all granular. But anyway, I'll stop.
No.
You don't have to stop, GP, and we know you really can't, so it's okay.
Hey, I was quiet today for the first 10 minutes.
Well, we all get our shares of little blessings from time to time.
I know. I need some of the drugs you're on, Ben.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It's not that fun. Let's go back to Google for a second, Nick.
Yeah.
And GP short Google here because I mean, why wouldn't you short that chart, right? Like, I mean, it's just up and forever. I said on our pre-show meeting that he didn't like this since 150, so of course he's going to short it at 300. But I think what really set this last round of excitement was the Berkshire report, right, on how much they took on Google last quarter. And we know Buffett's transitioning out of Berkshire, but at the same time, that's a fortified asset management company, and the long game is primo there, right? So where's the give back on this chart? And I'm not talking short term, GP, but if one were looking to get in and they aren't already, like, do you just close your eyes and just bite the bullet and buy? Or from a technical perspective, how do you gauge this?
Do you want to know my honest opinion or the
Yes.
one? Okay. So I'm in the camp that this had its Oracle moment, right? And Oracle, everyone, if you look at the Oracle chart, Nick, that you see that hefty 1 week volume after a massive run.
Yeah.
The psychological thought process is who's left to buy outside of Kathy Woods. And guess who was buying Google yesterday? Kathy Woods. After not buying it for 180 points, she's like, oh, let me go buy it. So she continues to be weird exit liquidity. I do not know who her technical analysts are, but they kind of suck. They should hire us. We're a great podcast too for them.
Yeah, we would give them content as well, right?
Yeah. Lots of content and better entries, so she can actually be awesome and perfect her craft. But I digress. So Google's gotten a lot of like, and it finally had like panic buying where it was this has already jumped over 100% in the last 3 months or 4 months, and people were running to the buy button at 15, 20 like point clips. And so maybe it's not the ultimate high this week. It might be next week or whatever. But I think some of this, I think some of this panic buying, and you can see that in Google with the big volume bar last week.
Yeah.
And you'll call it a short week, but we could potentially put in a lower volume bar. It's an abandoned baby at the top of a candle. It is a morning star potential reversal pattern. I can throw a lot of stuff out there, but I know it's a freight train, and so I'm using defined risk via options, right? And if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna lose my whole portfolio. This is not a full trade. This is my conversation of UNH, right? It's similar to that.
Yeah.
It's technical. It's not anything to it. And so if you were looking for entry, I'd be looking for entry in similar spots that Oracle, Microsoft, Spot, and Meta just provided. The breakout retest, which no one's going to like to hear, which is 220.
Yeah. I if it was me, I'd be throwing the fibs up.
Throw them up.
I'd be perfectly happy trying to catch a knife versus the 50%. I'd probably even consider the 0.618. I think under that, I would just wait for the setup again. Like I think you could trade probably against it. I just feel like if Google does pull that I'm losing my mouth. If Google did fully on retest that, it'd provide probably a pretty clean setup, because my guess is, again, the long-term moving average would probably be somewhere up into here, and price would have broken down. It'd likely be looking the way it would kind of look, I think, is the breakout retest would look like a capitulatory low, where, if market hits if weakness hits the market and we roll, price breaks down, it'll faff around here, spike, and then kind of build out something underneath these, underneath the 200-day before setting up to rip the 200-day to the upside. It's kind of how I would be looking at it. But until the 50% gets taken out, I wouldn't.
Which is what, like 235?
265.
265.
Yeah, from this base breakout. You could obviously draw up fibs from, the pivot low on this trend all the way up. And then, you're talking, that would probably be more in alignment with GP's call. You have the 0.618 down there, about 213, and then the 50% would be about 235.
Yep.
I generally I'll have them drawn from both. And again, just kind of looking for areas of confluence. Here in this case, you have it, but it's much higher. So you've got like the 0.382 kind of in alignment with the 0.5. And then you've got like these kind of zones of, really tight weekly closes here. So again, like until this 50% gets taken out, or even the 0.618, I would kind of be in the camp that if it does pull in, your faff around zone is kind of in here. But that could, yeah. We don't know
So
till we know.
if you draw it on the weekly, it's essentially a big high tight flag, right?
On
That
Google?
it would end up
Oh, on the
in
Google?
general, right? Like even if you're looking at Oracle, right? If you have Oracle up or whatever it is, it's basically gone from what 112 all the way to 350, and then you had the 50% retrace, right? And
yeah.
which is the base breakout. So what did Google do? It went from 147 to 330. So
yeah.
So similar concept in terms of what my thought process is. But once again, I'm using defined risk in time frame, right? And so I'm not overstaying my welcome on this short. They're January puts. I think if it's going to work, it's going to work in the next month and a half. If not, then I lost, and that's okay. It's part of the game. But I'm willing to take the shot here because puts, like, you can get 270 or 280 puts for January under $3, right? And if we just retested this week's low, those would explode in value.
Sure.
So it's up to you.
But we're bullish.
What's that?
But we're bullish.
I think if you're not looking at this market and not seeing base breakout retests and overall conversations of where things are rotating in and out, then we're just fundamentally in different spaces, right? So, and that's okay. Like if you think the market's a bubble and you think it's going to drop, then sure. But 80% of the time you're wrong. And so what I look for in what is defined bull markets is opportunities to add things that are out of favor and short things that are super in favor, right?
Not me.
So,
I'm not wrong 80% of the time.
Yeah. Well, 90?
I'm never wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm always
wrong like every day. So
yeah, no kidding.
You guys,
no kidding.
So I my question to you guys on Google was, where do you think a good point to get in if one wanted to? And I kind of smell what you're cooking. Like Nick, I drew the fibs up from that pivot low, so I clearly see like the 235 area, 256 area, right? That's the 382 and the 5 respectively there. I would be I'm not saying the 618 can't happen at 212, but the way I'm looking at it, like I think somewhere between around the 280 mark, I think if we were to get a pull in, I could talk myself into a starter there.
Yeah.
You know, and GP, your puts would be happy if that were to happen next week, right? Like you'd be fine with that.
Yeah, and honestly, the puts, if they work, it'll be a way to start legging into a Google position as well, long term, right? So this is not a conversation about Google's dead forever. It's just not the king right now.
It's not the king right now. Google's not
As
the king
in,
right now.
you'll find out in 2 months that it won't be the king, and it'll be
Meta
or Microsoft, and when they are kings again, you start buying Google, right? Like the rotation report.
I mean, everything's crystal clear in hindsight, right? And we're trying to make our best probabilities ahead. That's the reason why you buy right now instead of 2 months from now, or while you buy puts or go short, right? Like,
yeah,
we're not talking about 2 months from now. We're talking about what's right now and what we're looking for 2 months ahead. So we'll see. Microsoft's been in the shitter.
Yeah.
If you want to pull that up, it did have a nice bounce today, though. Right at that, that supply zone, Nick.
I like it. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it. I think it's just shaking people out that were getting involved for whatever reason, kind of in this range. It was kind of a nasty looking range with these high tails, but it's still kind of a pretty range, in my opinion. And I think once you probably saw this, you were like, oh, this is ugly as fuck. But I don't know, perspective and time frame.
Yeah,
It,
well,
you know, ultimately,
it's got the dreaded Batman going on there, and if Batman can't break, it's going
Yeah.
higher, right? Like it's a failed attempt on a breakdown, which we know when reversals happen, those are the more powerful moves, right? Like when something
Yeah.
doesn't play out, it's a more powerful move in the other direction.
Yeah, I really like I really like both Microsoft and Meta. They're both new positions for me. Um, and I think one of the trader quotes that I hear often and have heard often, which ring true, is when you buy something and it works immediately, it's it's probably going to be a great trade, right? And you'll probably sell too early and do all that other stuff. But when trades you buy they work immediately, those are really good signs overall.
In my injured haze here, Stairs just brought up what I meant to bring up a minute ago. 61% of the chat is bearish right now. That's the
Holy.
real story. That's the real story. Like, why are you even watching our show? I mean, we appreciate you watching our show, but we're not bullish enough,
I'm
right?
trying to.
I can change that. There's like three people. It's like one person just hitting the bear button. So.
I mean, GP was shitting on Amazon earlier, and that's the reason why we got the show going. We haven't even talked about Amazon, not that we need to. GP, it's down a 0.5% since you made that awesome claim of yours of how bad Amazon is.
There you go. Yeah, crank that bull ticker up.
Meepa. Yeah,
Anyway,
some bears are trying to fight it.
I don't think we're bullish the markets because we're in a bull market, right? But I think we provide balanced approaches to things that don't look good. But I talked about not being long. RGTI and Oklo and the zero revenue companies talked about being short Google and Amazon, not short Amazon, just how Tesla and Amazon continue to underperform on every update. So they're just not ready ultimately, right? They're just not ready to move higher. They're what it is, and like I don't know how much more you want in a week that we're not going to just throw out stuff that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we're not going to just make a take that we don't believe in. Like that's the thing about this show, the Community Rip. We're taking questions from you. We're giving you insight on the positions or the tickers you want to know, but we're giving you a real take. And if you want to just hear what you want to hear, you can go live in your echo chamber. But this time last year, I was as bearish as I've ever been. Right? You guys have never seen me so bearish. And fortunately for me, that worked out. But at the same time, like that could have been a terrible call, and I live by it. Just like my September and October crypto strategy was a terrible call, right? Like we got to own those mistakes, and we can't just be blindly bullish or blindly bearish like that. The world isn't black and white; it's shades of gray, right, Nick?
Yes, ain't that the truth?
So there you go. If you're looking for something else, tune into somebody else. But we love you. We thank you for being here.
Well, we want all perspectives at the same time, right? But typecasting us is always a place where we kind of it's a little sensitive. We try to discuss everything, right? All sides of it.
Hey, we're running out of time. We got one more minute of Drunk Uncle's Thanksgiving here. So let's go. What do we got? GP, give us your word.
I would say sell long-term puts in crypto names.
Sell puts means get long.
Yeah, or get a hell of a return on your capital. If you are bullish BMNR and you're stuck in Tom Lee's wall of crap, the January 2027 puts are returning 40 to 45% on your capital at the money, which is insane. And all you need is $3,000 of capital. If you sell the 32 puts, and I think you generate about $13, $13 on that, which is a great way to either get long at the lows of this current range, or generate some cash. The risk is that it goes lower, but over time with decay, if it even stays just right here, those will decay to zero, and then you get long-term capital gains tax on it too. So that's what I did a little bit today as well. So I think MicroStrategy opening up every single, if you look at their options chain, they open up 177 puts, 176, 175, 150, 149, like literally every single strike all the way down to zero. And I'm like, yeah, that's all usually late cycle stuff on the shorts. So I feel more confident when I saw that happen this week. Yeah, so
it's a line in the sand that it needs to do something though, right? Like it's at a decision point. Nicholas,
hey, it's Thanksgiving week. It's about being thankful, family, surrounding yourself with people that you love to be around for the most part. Try to unsolicited advice. Try to steer clear of the religion and the politics and all that kind of stuff if you can. That kind of, there's something to be said about healthy discussion and debate, but once it turns into character attacking and inviting a lot of that negativity, it ain't worth it. Like,
so you don't
agree
want
to
to
disagree. No.
I'm joking, man. Keep politics out of all these conversations.
You can. Yeah. It's intertwined in everything, but I agree with the character assassination. And one thing that we character assassinated our entire time while we were at Stocktoberfest was RGTI Rigetti Spaghetti. So what do you call fake spaghetti? An impasta. And that's the show. We'll see you next week. We love you. We'll be right here at the Community Rip Live on Stocktwits, 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Nick, GP, thanks for the entire chat. We love you. See you then.